A journey is a gift.
Who are you?
I feel like I'm not a king yet, but like I got potential for it, but I'm not there yet 100%.
The ancestors never left you.
That is an African way. You can't wear a crown with your head down.
Nothing is complete on its own.
I'm so proud of the work, the effort, everything put into this particular musical film, and I'm about to tell you some of my favorite moments of this musical film by Beyonce, Black is King, using all of those songs to create a movie, another movie, more like the Lion King extension. I was so happy, and when I saw the first teaser, I was like, yeah. It was wow. Black is King. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Elisha Muyosarelua, and yes, thank you for coming back to my YouTube channel to be a part of this conversation with me. You know, my channel is about lifestyle, great conversation, interesting talk, tips, reviews, and yes, I'm glad to be returning today again to talk to you about something that I find really interesting. Yes, I know you're expecting a movie review, but this can also count because we're talking Beyonce here, guys. We're talking Beyonce right here. And you know what it is? It is the Black is King album review. It's the visual, it's called a musical film, and yeah, there are only but a few of this kind of piece of work, and it's so interesting to have seen Beyonce delve into this kind of work in conjunction with the Walt Disney production. And yeah, definitely one of my favorite production so far in the world. Best. I mean, they've given me so many favorite childhood memory. It's been fun watching all of the animation, you know, the cartoons from way back when I was younger up until this point. And then that was why I particularly did not joke with Lion King the movie. That's the animated movie of Lion King 2019 version of it, because it was so beautiful. I mean, I kept screaming all through in the cinema when I was seeing it. And as a matter of fact, I saw it before it came to the cinema fully. I saw it in a private screening. So it was like a whole new experience for me. And I was just having chills and goosebumps in my body when I saw that. So yeah, having this piece of work come up from the Lion King the movie 2019 version of Lion King the movie, with Beyonce giving us a full album called Lion King the Gift album with so many amazing songs. It was just really, really beautiful. And I thought that was the end. You know, I thought it was just going to be one video for each song. I mean, we had quite a number of songs, from Already to Move Forever. We had Jara, we had Spirit, you know, quite a number of songs on that particular album that Beyonce gave us off the movie Lion King from last year. But the truth is, like I said, I was expecting that all we're going to have is a video for each of the songs on that particular album. That's the Lion King Gift album. But I was blown away, totally blown, when I heard the announcement that we're going to have not just, you know, single videos representing visuals for each song, but rather a musical film. That means we're going to have a movie like, you know, thing to depict all of the songs, more like using all of those songs to create a movie, another movie, more like the Lion King extension. I was so happy, like super duper excited. And when I saw the first teaser, I was like, yeah. It was beautiful. I had goosebumps watching all of those African colors, African costumes, African wears, and all that stuff, especially based on the fact that I had listened to most of the songs from the album, and I just totally love each and every one of them. I'll tell you my favorite later on. I was particularly looking forward to how those songs were going to be used to tell another story, or maybe used to represent an extension of what we had in Lion King. So it was just like that anticipation was all over me, like what's going to happen, how is it going to happen, what are we going to have, that kind of thing. And guys, I wasn't disappointed one bit. So I haven't talked about the origin of what we currently have as Black is King. I'm just gonna take you through what I saw in that particular Black is King musical film. Already, you have an idea of the production house. It was Disney, produced by Disney, a Disney production, and again, if you've listened to all the songs on the Lion King, the Gift album, you probably have an idea of some of the songs to expect from this musical film. So yeah, we were introduced to the musical film, from the beginning, where we had beautiful narration. There are 14 songs. We have Bigger, Find Your Way Back. We have Scar. We have Don't Jealous Me, Now, Mood Forever, Jarai, Already, Water, Black Skin Girl, Keys to the Kingdom, Other Side, My Power, and Spirit. Those are the 14 songs we had represented on this musical film. The same songs, or not all of the songs, because I think we had some more narrations on Lion King, the Gift album. Some were taken out, okay, but these are the songs that were represented in the Black is King musical film, okay. So we're open to the narration where they were talking about ancestral power, coming back together, understanding your roots, understanding where you're from. All of those things was what we opened up to. And then we saw how a basket was flowing on the water, just talking about origin and all of that stuff. The narration was beautiful. And one of the things I took out from that particular narration is that you're part of something bigger. You're not just words in the Bible, you're more than that. It was just basically talking about who you are, understanding yourself, understanding your root, understanding your origin, and all of that stuff. So yeah, we were introduced to that, and then a couple of people, African representation here and there, and then Beyonce had to go carry a child from the river, and it was like the child was brought into the community and shown. The child was taken through the processes of adoption to the community, and that was when the song Bigger came up. And I totally liked the song, and that introduction was really beautiful, more like the opening sequence, which showed us what to expect in the story. Like I said, it was still Lion King's story told in a different form, or with music this time around. So I enjoyed it. It was more like first 10 minutes of the film, the musical film, and that kind of beautiful representation came forth. From there, we moved on to Find Your Way Back. And this time it was still more intertwined. The story was still basically intertwined, where you're talking about ancestral heritage, the fact that even when our ancestors die, they don't just go, they find a way of watching over us and all of that. So it was still in the line of unveiling the story that was about to be told, which I think was also beautiful because they did not rush it. There was a lot of choreography, a lot of adaptation, like they were adopting someone into something, like we're showing you your roots. That was what I envisaged from that. And I saw beautiful colors, beautiful representation. We're introduced to the prince, who was now some step further in life, but being told the story of accepting his ancestral heritage, that kind of thing. So it was quite beautiful watching that particular part also, and that was not even rushed as a way. I was like, still 2 songs, I was like, let's move on. But then it was beautifully told. They didn't rush it. I think that both introductory videos, that's Bigger and Find Your Way Back, were very key to the story that was about to be told. So they didn't have to rush it, and I totally understood that. So they took their time on both visual representations, which I totally enjoy. And then we now moved on to the part where the prince had been welcomed home. Community is okay, he's had time with his father, and then it was like it was now entering into the journey of life. If you understand that in relation with the character Simba in Lion King, because Simba likes to explore. Simba was a child who wanted to be in different places at different times, wanted to see life, didn't like to be caged. That was the representation we saw here, because the prince, who is Simba or played the role of Simba even in the musical film, wanted to explore, wanted to go to places, wanted to see things. And in one of those times he wanted to see things, he met a monkey who led him on to a particular place where we now had the song Don't Jealous Me. For the song Don't Jealous Me, we had the voices of Lord Afrizana, Mr. Easy, Yemi Alade, Techno, all Nigerian artists, I guess. Yeah. And then it was more like they were introducing Simba to what it feels like to be a capitalist, and it was very okay. I think I like the costume and the representation there, and the snake. At first we saw the snake on Lord Afrizana, who appeared really scary at that point, and then it was transferred later on to Beyonce, who was also in the middle of the song at the time. So yeah, and then it was like the prince Simba was now beginning to feel what he saw, like they were taking him on a journey and exposing him to things. And Simba being the explorer, not Dora the Explorer, Simba the Explorer, he was enjoying himself and all of that. And then that further led us to a part where exploration put him in trouble. We know Simba to be one who got into trouble a lot. If you watch Lion King, you already understand what I'm saying. Simba got into trouble a lot. So from that Don't Jealous Me song adaptation and exposing him to some things, more like educating him and exposing him to some things, we now moved to the part where Scar was introduced, the song Scar. If you know the song Scar on the Gift album, you understand what I'm saying. And it was at that point where Simba's exploration had led home some people who were dangerous, and that was where his father died. Yeah, that was where Mufasa died, according to the representation in Black is King. So Mufasa died there, and Scar was there. Like Scar was, we could even hear some part of Lion King in that particular part where Scar was saying, Simba, what have you done? Run away, run away. What have you done? Don't go and never come back. We saw that part also. The narration popped up after his dad was killed by those strange people he led home. He was on a bike, like bikers had come to their village and all, and then Nala was saying, Simba, calm down, it might be dangerous. And he says, I love adventure. And before he knew it, there were so many of them. His father tried to come save him, and his father was killed. So that was how Scar the song was represented in Black is King the movie. And yeah, Scar told Simba to run away and never come back, so he left. And then Mufasa was buried, and that was when the song Nile was introduced, and Nile was basically Mufasa's barrier, and that was when the line "No true king ever dies" came up in the narration of Simba's of Mufasa's burial. And I think I really liked the Mufasa burial scene with everyone on white. The outfit Beyonce was wearing was really, really beautiful, more like she was the one leading those who were going to bury Mufasa. It was really beautiful, and it was beautifully told. I mean, that was one thing I can say. So Simba had run off in his mind, never to come back, because he feared what he had done to his father. Like I said, still the Lion King plot, still the Lion King story being told with the songs from the Lion King the Gift. You understand what I mean? So yeah, from that now being the 5th song, from now we now had to move to Mood Forever. As Simba ran off, he found himself in different phases of life. Now he was in the bush, lost and sleeping. He was tired already and exhausted. So more like he was having a dream of what his life would be like. And that was when Mood Forever came on. And Mood Forever was fantastic, guys. It was fantastic. We were introduced to Jay-Z, who came to West, is what we can probably categorize as an empire. And the old thing, even though that song, like hey, you know what I mean. It was so beautiful. The clothing, the mood, Beyonce Beyonce and all that queen mother-ish. Oh my god. So for everything they were doing in the dream, sort of, Simba was smiling and feeling it where it was, in the bush. Meanwhile, Beyonce and Jay-Z were doing the visual part of that particular song. And if I'm going to rate this, Mood Forever is definitely going to be one of my top rated visually represented song. I don't know if that made sense, but then you understand what I mean. So yeah, I loved Mood Forever. I loved it. It was like a family something, and I totally enjoyed it. So from Mood Forever, from that dream, we now moved to Jarai, and that's because at that time Simba had forgotten what it means to be home. He had forgotten his heritage. He had forgotten who he was. He had forgotten he's a prince and he had right to the throne, So he had started living a different life, and that place were introduced to him, living balling life. He was in a car, riding in a neon car, and that song came on. But that song was done by Burna Boy of Nigeria, but it was not there in that particular scene. But Beyonce more like stood in place for Burna Boy. I don't know why, but I was a bit disappointed because I really wanted to see Burna Boy there, just the way I was excited when I saw Yemi Alade. I mean, I'm Nigerian, so what do you expect? But I was quite excited when I saw Yemi Alade in Don't Jealous Me. The lesson we took out of that particular part is the fact that Mufasa was trying to speak to Simba like, hey, know who you are. Hey, you are a prince. Hey, this is not where you belong to. Hey, you have to be smart. Hey, you have to wake up. That was the lesson from that particular part of the story. Apart from the disappointment of not having Burna Boy, I think it was okay. From Jarai, we now move to another favorite of mine, which is Already. And I think Already was beautiful. Already was a song done by Beyonce and Shatta Wale. And guys, the choreography, the costume, everything was just on. It was on point. And already they used Already to tell the story of from the part, from Jarai, Mufasa had spoken to his son, more like the fact that your ancestors do not leave you, they still guide you. That was what we're told from the beginning. So it was more like Mufasa speaking to the spirit of his son Simba that, hey, you are a prince, you should go back home, get your throne back. And if you're going to link that to Lion King, you understand that they were not having it smooth back at home. Things were already going bad. Scar was taking over and ruling badly, and they needed a redemption. So Simba was more like the redemption they needed to send Scar out of the throne. So yeah, Already was more like reminding Simba that, hey guy, now you're ready, you've heard from your father, you need to do what you can, you need to accept your past, you need to be real to yourself and find your way back home. So it was beautiful. The dancing, the choreography Already was beautiful. Gosh, I could go on and on about it. It was beautiful. Okay, not to just stay here. So yeah, we had Already where it was beginning to think about going back home and all of that. And then we were now taken back to water. And that was the most instructive part for Simba when we had Pharrell Williams and Beyonce do Water, and on that song they were just basically talking about accepting your past, be true to yourself. So it was more like Nala telling, then I think Nala and Simba had met again. If you're going to use the Lion King story, remember that Simba met what's that animal? Is it the buffalo and the those animals that became his friends? Yeah. So Nala had coincidentally jammed Simba. So it was the water part of the song, or the visual, was where Nala was more like reminding Simba who he is, and the fact that it was just she was telling him, you need to accept your past, you need to go back home. So that was what Water basically was about, and I think I liked it too. Was not too much, but it was beautiful. I liked to see, or I liked how I saw Pharrell Williams on that one, on that particular song. So yeah, from Already to Water. Then we now had Brown Skin Girl. Yeah. And this was representing the a beautiful love story of Nala and Simba. We all know how their story went, and the connection, the beautiful love story. That was what they used brown skin girl to tell. And you already know I was quite excited to see Wizkid represented live, unlike what we had with Burna Boy. I was excited to see Wizkid represented live. We had Wizkid, we had Blue Ivy, we had Beyonce, and we had some other beautiful ladies I was so happy to see. We had Beyonce's mother, Tina Knowles, we had Naomi Campbell, we had Lupita Young, we had, I was surprised to see Kelly Rowland. I mean, I had seen pictures of the internet and I wasn't sure where Kelly Rowland fit into, when I was seeing those pictures on the internet. But guys, I was so like, what? Our soul sister is here. Yes, Kelly Rowland also featured, and she had quite a number of scenes with Beyonce, just sharing the soul sister moment, the black skin moment, the proud moment. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I totally liked that moment. So yeah, the love story between Nala and Simba. Then we moved on very quickly to the wedding. And the wedding was the song used to narrate the wedding was Key to the Kingdom, or Keys to the Kingdom, by Tiwa Savage and Mr. Easy. And I think it was awesome. The opening scene was shot in Nigeria. Yeah. The opening scene was shot in Nigeria, and that's National Theatre. Yes, the National Theatre. And when I saw that particular opening scene, I was like, ah. And then I saw Tiwa Savage, I'm like, so yeah, the wedding was interesting to watch. Nala and Simba combination, and I think the girl that played Nala is actually very beautiful. And from that point it became really obvious that the king was ready to go back home, whether Scar liked it or not. He already got all the lessons he needed to learn on the journey of finding himself and accepting himself, and it was time to go back home. I think another part that got me really emotional in Keys to the Kingdom is the part where I watched this Nigerian dancer who just recently lost her life, Kodak, yeah. She's a dancer from Nigeria who died recently as a result of electrocution, and it was beautiful to see her feature in this amazing piece of work, which I know is going to win so many awards. But sadly, she's not here to see it happen. But for Kodak, yes, must have been dream come true to have worked on this particular piece with Beyonce and the rest of the team. But sadly, she's not here to see it, and I think that really hurts bad. So from Keys to the Kingdom, we were taking on a rebirthing, reformation, transformation of Simba, because at that time he had a reflection, a deep reflection of who he is, where he's coming from, and where he has been to, and why he needs to go back home. So we're taking back to the story from the beginning, more like it was reflecting on how it started. I remember that the opening scene showed us how a baby was taken out of the water, and now we're now taking on the back end of that particular story, the fact that there was destruction in the community, and Beyonce was seen rocking the baby, and she had to protect the baby and put him in a basket so that it would not be destroyed in that particular disaster happening in the community. So she was seen crying, and I think her acting skills came up on that particular scene. It was quite emotional, and that Other Side song is definitely emotional. So Other Side was a song used to depict that particular part of the movie where Beyonce now was seen putting the child in the basket and saying, I'm going to see you at the other side, even though things are not smooth right now, things are being destroyed right now, but I'm going to see you at the other side. So it was that other side that opened the movie initially at the beginning, where Beyonce retrieved the child from the basket. So it was more like Simba was having that moment of reflection, and it was now back in the water. Remember, we talked about water earlier and accepting your past, the song Water, Pharrell Williams and Beyonce. So it was more like saying, okay, now accept the past, accept everything you've done, it's time to go back home. And there was a part where we were shown where Simba had dropped something into the water, so he went back to retrieve it, and that was when we're told the story of how we landed in the basket in the first place, when Beyonce put him in the basket initially, with the same song, The Other Side. And with still the same song, we were shown how it retrieved the item, took it back home, and it was eventually given the power to go into this next phase. And the next phase was where it went to challenge Scar in a battle. And it was a matter of, Scar, you have to go. This is my throne now. My power is bigger than you. And then the song Power came on. We had quite a number of powerful African ladies. We had Nia, we had Terawak, we had Busiswa, Yemi Alade, and Mooncloud Sonali. We had all these powerful girls, ladies, join Beyonce on the Power song where they were talking about my power, and it was more like just ushering the war that was about to happen between Scar and Simba, for Simba to reclaim the throne. Choreography was top notch, the costume was top notch, everything was top notch with power. It was really, really powerful. And you know, you might want to ask yourself, I'm sure a lot of people ask themselves this question. I haven't seen the build up of the story from the beginning to that point. Like, so how is this going to end? Obviously, you know how it's going to end. It's going to end with Spirit. I was happy it ended with Spirit, and I liked the choir feel that was brought into the rendition of Spirit. And it was just basically talking about the fact that Simba had now won the war with Scar, and things were now more like starting afresh. And at that point, he had the child with Nala, and they had the unveiling of the child he had with Nala, just the way we had it in the movie Lion King at the end when the child was lifted up, you know, that part. So it was really, 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 really beautiful. I liked how it ended. I liked it. I really, really do like it. It was just wow. It was wow. So yeah, that's basically the gist in the Lion King or Black is King album, the musical film. I think for what it's worth, this is awesome. It's right now, I've seen a lot of people accept it with open mind. I've seen a lot of people accept it with not so much negative criticism, you know what I mean. I think that people are open to the work, and it probably met the expectation of a lot of people. I feel like Beyonce put in so much work, and she deserves the credit that comes with this and all of the other artists and persons involved in it. I also think that Blue Ivy is having such amazing time right now, and I cannot wait to see what is going to become of this young lady. Apart from the fact that Beyonce is putting her out there a lot, which I really appreciate, I feel like Blue Ivy is going to have so much to offer as a person. Remember that she won, she became the youngest BET winner recently with the Brown Skin Girl song, which also has Beyonce and Wizkid on it. So I feel like I'm expecting so much more from, you know, Blue Ivy as a person, apart from the family way that has been paved for her. I really do expect so much. So yeah, costume awesome, storytelling awesome, cinematography awesome, choreography awesome. Everything is just awesome, man. I was one of those persons who had the thought of, okay, what is it they want to explore again with this all black thing? But I think I really liked it. I liked how the story was told in company with the original Lion King piece, and I like that all of the artists who featured on that Lion King gift album also got their credit for the work they put into it. It was just really beautiful. 1 hour 25-minute worth of work, and I am glad it's accepted and it's currently doing the work it's supposed to do. I like all of the lessons in it. Issue of leadership, issue of acceptance, issue of color, issue of race, issue of leadership, issue of corruption. Everything was addressed in one way or the other, and it was good. It was good. It was really, really good. It was so good. So yeah, guys, that's what I think about this particular Black is King, the album by Beyonce. I just did a narration of the story for you in case you don't understand where we are from or how we got here. So yeah, I think big ups to everyone who worked on this. It's a beautiful way to, you know, just dig into the African culture and also bring back the Lion King story. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. If you've not seen it, go see it and let me know what you think about it in the comment section. And also let me know which part was your favorite. My favorite part would definitely be like I said, Mood Forever, when little Simba was having that dream from way about his future, where he wanted to be. So yeah, that's all about it, guys. That's how much I can tell you the story of Black the King, the album. And I hope you like it when you eventually see it. And I hope you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel also. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you guys soon again in another review. This one I rate 8/10. See you guys soon. Black is King.